What's up, everybody? It's the Inhuman one here, and today I'm going to show you the exact location of the Glintstone Academy key and how to get it from the very start of the game. Yeah, that means you can even bypass the Stormveil Castle and the Godric boss fight. So, from the Stormhill Shack, all you're going to want to do is head north under the giant bridge you see right up above. Do not head west towards the castle. Instead, go north under the bridge. And once you do that, you'll actually see a dilapidated bridge along with a finger-reading crone there. So all you want to do is from Stormhill Shack, take the cobblestone path underneath the bridge. After you go through this wooded area, you'll know that you're heading in the right direction because you'll see a finger-reading crone. Depending on whether or not you are siding with the two fingers, you can choose how you'd like to say hi to the finger-reading crone. I chose a slash to the face. So once you reach the end of the bridge, what you're going to do is you can easily continue on with Torrent at this point, but I just wanted to mention that you can get a nomadic cookbook from that corpse right there on the edge of the bridge there. Once you make your way down the bridge, or what was once the bridge, you'll be on this natural formation here that's kind of hugging the side of the mountain. So I would suggest using Torrent, especially if you're lower level, because there's going to be some wolves here. And of course, if you are starting from immediately, the first step after you've obtained Torrent or the Steed Whistle, I would definitely suggest just riding through, because sometimes the wolves can be a little tough. Especially if you're not properly equipped, you don't have shields, you don't know how to guard counter, etc. So all you need to do is continue walking through this pathway here, hugging the cliffside, and make sure that you continue circling around to the left as much as possible. Once you pass the wolves, you'll finally reach a clearing, and that clearing will have the site of grace for the lake facing cliffs. So just for the sake of, you can go ahead and tag it if you want to get some rest. Now you're in Liurnia of the Lakes. Once you've activated this point, the next area you want to go to is the lake shore of Liurnia. So pretty much from the Stormhill Shack, we went straight under the bridge instead of going towards the west, towards the castle. After we went straight, we dropped off on the natural formation here, hugged the side of the mountain, and then bypassed Stormveil Castle altogether to reach the lake-facing cliffs site of grace. Now we're going to want to go to the actual shore itself. So you're going to follow a pathway directly to the shore, and it'll also reach a new merchant that can sell a lantern for you. One of the quickest and earliest ways to get the lantern. I'd say it's superior to getting the lantern from the Weeping Peninsula. Then we're going to head all the way to an island west of the Raya Lucaria Academy so that we can obtain the Glintstone Academy key. So, I'm going to show you on screen exactly where to go. All we're going to be doing is taking Torrent down this kind of dirt road here. And if you follow it, you'll see a cemetery on your right. You're going to pass that for now. Just so that you know, there are items that I'm passing by, but this is not a guide that shows all the item placement. This is a guide showing you exactly how to get the Glintstone Academy key from the very beginning. There's an enemy encampment up ahead that will have some pretty good items as well, so you make sure that you loot it on your playthrough, but for the sake of time and the sake of direction, I'm just going to pass it using Torrent. And then as you reach the end of the dirt road, you'll see that we've reached the lake shore itself, and you'll see a campfire there where the nomadic merchant is, and a site of grace. So I would suggest tagging the site of grace, and of course that merchant does sell the lantern for about 1800 runes. That'll free up your hand so you don't have to use a torch. So follow this path on screen. All you're trying to do at this point is head north or northwest. Heading northwest is going to be key because all you're trying to do is clear this wooded area, and once you clear it, you're going to start seeing a giant, looks like a castle-like structure off in the distance. And once you see that, that is actually the Raya Lucaria Academy, and that is what you're going to want to be focusing on. That's where you want to head towards, because that's our reference point, so that once we get to the Raya Lucaria Academy, we're going to go west of that. So you might come across some ruins. Laskir Ruins is a good spot. Got some really decent loot and ascending gate and things of that nature, so be sure to check it out on your playthrough. But if you're just trying to get straight into the academy because you're having a tough time locating the key, this is exactly what you need to do. So at this point we're heading pretty much due north, and you can see the Raya Lucaria Academy off in the distance. It's a large structure on top of an island. It's pretty much inaccessible because the bridges on either side of it have been destroyed. So the only way inside is to obtain the Glintstone Academy key and be able to teleport through this barrier and that way you can be brought to the actual entrance of the academy itself. Otherwise, it is inaccessible. Alright, so all we're doing here is we're going to continue walking, or riding on top of Steed. Riding Steed. Our Torrent, our Steed, all the way through the lake. And so this part here is just going to be an area where we're working our way through. We're going to continue onward. And we want the Raya Lucaria Academy to be to our right. Only slightly, because due west of that island, you're going to find a small, I guess, structure that has like spiky rocks jutting out from it. And right in front of that structure, you're going to see a dragon. And that dragon is Glintstone Dragon Smaragd. So once you pass this second wooded area that is really close to the Raya Lucaria Academy, you might even come across the shack of Blackguard, the tarnished who stole Raya's necklace. But no need to worry about that right now. The purpose of this video is just to show you the location of the Glintstone Academy key so that you can get inside for yourself. So you're going to pass the Academy Gate Town most likely, which is full of Albinarix, some Miranda plants that have different variants, different types of attacks. And you see that sharp rock jutting out, kind of like a, well, that's the castle there. Let's actually show you on the map where this is at though. But that sharp rock right in front of us, as soon as I can activate my map, I'll let you see it. But due west of the Raya Lucaria Academy, which is now to our right, we have an island here that is being guarded by the Glintstone Dragon Smaragd. So if you stay on top of Torrent, your steed, you don't even need to face off with this dragon at all. So all you do is you grab the key from this corpse here that has a robe on. It looks a lot like Sorceress Selene, and that's pretty much the academy type garb you'd see. Now you're going to run past, and now at this point we're heading northeast. So we're going to go northeast all the way until we get to this point called a ravine, or the ravine. And the ravine is going to be the small little river in between the two large, I guess plateaus. So that's where we're headed right here. If we can go this way, what's going to happen is we're going to be able to find a pathway up to the Bellum Church area. And on that plateau on the right hand side, you'll be able to actually reach the gates of the Raya Lucaria Academy very easily. There aren't any spirit geysers down here, so it's going to be very difficult to get up otherwise, unless you go back and warp to the lake facing cliffs and run all the way north on the eastern side, and that could take more time. This is the quickest route because you're pretty much not only obtaining the key, but from the key location you're finding the quickest path up on top of the plateau where the Bellum Church is, because the Bellum Church is situated just slightly northeast of the gate. So all we're doing is we're heading towards the ravine. We're still heading northeast at this point, and if you can see to the right of us, that bridge there that's been destroyed, that is the bridge that would have normally connected any normal person that could have walked the path to the academy. But the academy kind of sealed itself off and destroyed the actual physical bridge itself, and now they use those teleportation portals to allow access. And as you know, if you've read the item description for the Glintstone Academy keys, each key is kind of designated for one particular person, almost like a fingerprinting type thing. So once one individual uses it, it cannot be used by another. So that's why Tops, the NPC that we passed early on, past the lake facing cliffs, he's needing a key. Anyway, so now that we're here, there's a site of grace over here, and it's just going to be aptly called the ravine, which is perfect because that is exactly where we need to go. So once we tag this site of grace, all we need to do is continue riding Torrent, our trusty steed, through this ravine area. So as you can see, we've made it, and then we're going to be finding a way to circle back up on top of the plateau, and it's a very easy way to do it. There's not any platforming required or anything like that. It's just a matter of passing some of these land squirts here. But after we go through the ravine, you'll see that the right hand side is going to start getting lower and lower, gradually kind of ramping downwards. And once it does, you'll finally start seeing some grass. Once you see that grass and that clearing, that's a sign that, hey, you're at the point where you can actually start traversing up that land formation there, so that we can pass these land squirts and then head right back up to the Bellum Church. So now we're going to be on the right hand plateau. I suggest just passing that night for now. Again, on your playthrough, be sure to be more thorough. I'm just simply showing you the path itself. We should see some prawn miners just camping out right here, and then beyond that, you're gonna see another merchant that's kind of underneath that that land formation there, that natural formation above him. And he can sell some goodies as well. But once you come up here, there's pretty much no path to go but through the back of Bellum Church, so you can do that. There's going to be a site of grace for you as well. Another thing to mention is most of all the churches will have sacred tiers, so you can always grab that if needed. Anyways, we're going to now, from Bellum Church, mark our location and then the path that we're going to want to go. So we're going to place a little waypoint or a beacon to the front of the gate. So all we're doing here is now heading to this waypoint here, and it's literally just a straight shot. If you visit this area at the nighttime, a night rider will be there to greet you, and just make sure you're prepared for that encounter. Those guys usually have unique drops, so it's always a good idea to take them out. But as you can see off in the distance, it's completely straight ahead. You can see the barrier, or the first kind of the gateway to the academy, and you can see that it's sealed. There's going to be a finger reading crone to the left. You can go ahead and miss like I did. But once you actually examine the seal, if you have the Glintstone Academy key in your possession, you will walk through the barrier and you will appear on the other side after a brief loading screen. Once you appear on this side, there are actually two pathways you can take. There's going to be one pathway directly behind you at the near the legs, and there's going to be one pathway to your left. So this pathway directly behind us, if you've been progressing Yura's questline, you can just simply walk through here, no need to press any additional buttons, and you'll get a golden seed as well. If you want to get another merchant and actually find the Imp Fang ashes that you can get as a keepsake in the beginning of the game, head this way. There's going to be plenty of wolves down there, and also at the very end a Bloodhound Knight, so be sure to be prepared for that encounter. But there's some pretty good items and goodies down there in the event you want to spend the time searching for. It's really quick, short bridges you can just walk through. But guys, that is how you get to the Raya Lucaria Academy from the very start of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, it's the Inhuman one signing out.